just ask you one of the questions again,
Okay.
if that's all right?
Sure.
Just sort of start onto it, don't worry.
Can I go forward a touch more?
Just first, are you concerned it was as simple as that the organisers simply just didn't have a plan B in case this happened?
Yes, I think that people are asking why there wasn't a contingency plan. The algae only affected a tiny proportion of the lake, just by the start as it happens, and if there had been contingency plans in place, then people think that the event could have taken place.
And also you're concerned that actually people could have just got in and done the swim in any case, aren't you?
Well, people are also asking why they weren't given the choice. We're dealing with grown-up people here, and there was a problem. The problem could have been explained to them, and they could have been given the choice as to whether they wanted to swim or not. As it happens, lots of people did vote. Sorry, as it happens, lots of people did vote with their flippers. They got into the water. Hundreds of people swam on the Saturday and the Sunday. And a separate event took place, which was a swim of the whole length of the lake, which 28 people swam 10 miles. And no one on the Saturday or the Sunday, as far as I know, suffered any ill effects.
So as far as you're concerned, this was an overreaction, wasn't it?
I think that the problem was exaggerated. At least people got the impression that the whole of Lake Windermere was covered in this blue-green algae. In fact, it only covered a tiny, tiny part of the lake, and people were swimming perfectly happily in the rest of the lake.
What a contrast to last Friday, when the blue-green algae was out in force, and the risk of it causing skin irritation and sickness meant organisers had to postpone the swim. Now it may look better, but continuing concerns about water quality led to the decision to scrap it altogether.
We originally postponed it last week, and we've been trying and hoping to be able to stage it this weekend. Unfortunately, there are signs all around the lake warning of the dangers of toxic algae. So we'd promised to get back to competitors by yesterday to say what we were going to do, and it would simply be irresponsible to put people at risk.
But tourism bosses are angry. Hundreds of people cancelled hotel bookings, and they want an inquiry into how the problem was handled.
People are asking why there wasn't a contingency plan. The algae only affected a tiny proportion of the lake, just by the start as it happens, and if there had been contingency plans in place, then people think that the event could have taken place.
Our plan B was to look at a different part of the lake to take the swim, but unfortunately the blue-green algae was present there. Our next plan was hopefully to stage the event this coming weekend, and we actually delayed all the infrastructure removal until yesterday and today, hoping that we could still stage the event, but with the blue-green algae still present in the lake, it was impossible.
Many of the swimmers take part to raise money for charity. They've been offered refunds or entrance into next year's event, but that's unlikely to take away their disappointment. Well, organisers didn't just listen to the Environment Agency, they listened to the Health Protection Agency and to South Lakeland District Council. Simon Rowley is from the council. Simon, tell us about your role in this decision.
Clearly we're very disappointed that the event has been cancelled this year. We've worked very hard with the event organisers and other key partners to ensure the success of this event over the last 2 years, and indeed this year with the provision of advice and guidance.
People are going to look at the water now. They're going to look at the fact that a separate swimming event took place on Windermere without incident over the weekend and say this was a complete overreaction.
Well, the event organisers rightly used the information they had available at the time from the Environment Agency's water sampling to make their decision to cancel the event.
Finally, you'll work with organisers in time for next year's event, won't you?
Absolutely. There's a commitment from South Lakeland District Council to work with the event organisers and all the other partners and interested parties to ensure that the event is brought back to this beautiful location and hosted in future years.
Simon, thank you very, very much for joining us this evening. While signs do remain up around the lake, it is still popular, people heading out onto the lake all the time. But the official advice for people to follow, because of these health risks, is that until these signs go down and there's no indication as to when they'll go down, people should avoid contact with the water altogether, and that includes taking their pets out into there as well. Back to you.